Hello, Jonathan Bednar here, Certified Financial Planner. Today we're going to talk about Bon Voyage, sailing into retirement stability. Now, a lot of people talk about bonds as a way to just generate income in retirement and just own a bunch of bonds and you'll be safe. I don't agree with that. We need, as investors, to be long-term equity investors. This is the way that we beat inflation. This is the way that we ensure that our investments grow. They provide income for our lives. They're there to use to fund our dreams and our goals and our objectives. They're there to pay healthcare expenses if and when that need arises. So it is very important to own equities and stocks in your portfolio. But what if we need to supplement our income from our account and use some of our investments to provide us income? This is common. A lot of times people turn income on from their portfolio as a way to, supplement life. They could be claiming Social Security, they could have a pension, maybe they have rental properties. There's all sorts of things that could potentially generate income. Maybe they're working kind of a side hustle, but they need another additional layer of income, and that comes from your retirement portfolio. You don't work 40 years in your life to not have the opportunity to turn your income, your savings on to provide you additional income in retirement. So this is where bonds come into play. A lot of times we're using bonds to provide 5 years worth of income. And so what a lot of advisors do is they'll own a bond index or bond investments that are perpetual. They just last forever. There's no end in sight. And the idea is if they put you in a 60-40 portfolio and you've got 60% equity and you've got 40% bonds, then that's a retiree portfolio. And that's okay. There's just not a lot of thought put into designing that portfolio. And I want to make sure that I am clear. We have 60-40 and 70-30 and 80-20 and 90-10 portfolios. We create these portfolios for people, but we do so in a way to know that once it's time to turn income on, we've got these bonds layered to provide you income. So if you're in a 60-40 portfolio, we might be using that to say, okay, well, as soon as we take on income, we've got 4 years worth of income set aside. If we're using a 70-30 portfolio, maybe you're younger, maybe you're willing to take a little bit more risk, maybe your Social Security is higher, maybe you have a pension, maybe you have rental income, whatever it is, but maybe we don't need to supplement our portfolio so much. Or maybe you have, or not portfolio, but our income so much. Or maybe you have a retirement and emergency fund cushion to kind of ease and help support your retirement income. So if you're in a 70-30 portfolio, maybe we've got 3 years worth of income set aside. We want to make sure that we've got, as you're in retirement, a bucket, very intentional, a bucket of money for you to draw on that would provide income for a defined period of time. And I prefer that to be 4 to 5 years. I want to be able to kind of say, in a bucketing strategy, this money is the money we're going to take for the next 4 to 5 years. And then after that, or I guess in the meantime, that'll be letting our stocks, our equities continue to grow for you for your long-term investing needs. And then once that 4 or 5 year bucket is depleted from the bonds, we'll then go to the next bucket, which may be rebalancing to refill the bond bucket. It may be turning on Social Security, which we delayed. Could be selling a rental house. It could be just turning on more portfolio income. There's a lot of ways that you can kind of slice and dice these portfolios and retirement income to meet your objectives. And I think that's what's important about personal finance, is that it is specific for you. And that's what one of the things we do for clients at Paradigm Wealth Partners is design specific retirement income plans for our clients. And one of the ways we do this is by bucketing or segmenting out a portion of the bonds or the fixed income for your future income. The way that we do this is not by owning bonds that are perpetual, but we do this by owning bonds that have defined maturity dates, meaning we buy bonds that might mature in 2023, and bonds that might mature in 24 and 25 and 26. And so if we're going to put 40% of your money in bonds because you're closer to retirement or closer to needing that income off of your portfolio, what we would do is we would put 10% in the 2023 and 10% in the 24 and 10% in the 25 and 10% in the 26. Now I know that as 2023, as you need income in 2023, we're using the income off of that 2023 bond. And same thing happens in 2024 and 25 and 26. And so while we're not using, let's just say again, 2023, for example, while we're not touching 24, 25, and 26 in that scenario, it's continuing to earn interest from the bonds that have been loaned or the money that you've loaned out to other people. And so it's a way to earn something on that money until it's time to turn on the income from that. Once the 2023 is depleted, then we move to 2024. These are just simple ways that a financial advisor or certified financial planner can make retirement income planning simple. I think far too many certified financial planners and financial advisors make investing and retirement planning way more complicated than it should be. This is back of the napkin stuff. If you have questions about creating a bond sleeve in your account to provide retirement income, or if you have questions about, what a retirement income should look like, what is a good number that I should project, how should I project, what I can get from Social Security and pension and retirement, how can I know what I can safely spend in life without running out of money? That's the big question. That's what people want to know. How can I spend money in retirement, but how can I make sure that I have enough to suffice and to live for my entire retirement, which many people are living into their 80s and 90s and even hundreds. And so it's important as technology advances and healthcare advances that you have a plan and a strategy as well to provide those needs, the retirement income for your life. Thanks for listening to the What the Wealth podcast. If you have questions about fixed income or bonds or just would like help with your retirement income plan, reach out. If you haven't already liked and subscribed, please do so. Have a wonderful weekend. Be confident in your retirement.